Heavy monsoon caused dengue outbreak in the makeshift camp. Burmese army's business empire fuels atrocities, UN probe. An outbreak of dengue has recently developed in the makeshift camps of Cox's Bazar, Bangladesh, since the recent heavy rain of monsoon, and Rohingyas in the camps are sent at further health risks. Since the beginning of monsoon, heavy rain has flooded the makeshift shelters where sewage and lavatory wastes got mixed up, leading to several infectious diseases like cholera, malaria, typhoid, skin diseases, and etc. Among many other infectious diseases, one of the life-threatening issues is the outbreak of dengue mosquitoes due to lack of cleanliness and precautions. According to sheltering Rohingyas in other places of Bangladesh, dengue outbreaks were being prevented by spraying insecticides over the places like gutters, sewage, roads, etc. But in makeshift camps, no such precautions were observed before or after heavy rain and floods. Following the situations, INGOs such as UNHCR, etc. were seen in advising Rohingyas for using mosquito coils and nets at night to prevent dengue to a certain extent. Although the Rohingyas are preventing themselves with the possible means they can afford, but they have urged INGOs and NGOs to look after their immediate needs at this time of health vulnerability. Tougher sanctions are needed against Burma's wealthy and powerful military as its web of economic interests has generated a fortune that helps fund atrocities, UN investigators said on Monday. They urged the international community to sever links with the armed forces' dizzying economic holdings that they said dwarf those of any other civilian company in Burma. Cutting ties will impair the army's ability to carry out military operations without oversight and thus reduce violations of human rights, said Mr. Marzuki Darusman, chair of the fact-finding mission ahead of the launch of a report in Jakarta. The team last year called for Burma's senior generals to be persecuted for genocidal after a 2017 crackdown forced some 740,000 Rohingyas into Bangladesh. In addition to extensive local partnerships, at least 15 foreign firms have joint ventures with the military according to the UN report, while 44 others have some form of commercial ties. These numbers really are the tip of the iceberg, investigator Mr. Christopher Sidoti said. Two main military-owned conglomerates, Myanmar Economic Holdings Limited MEHL and Myanmar Economic Corporation MEC, as well as numerous subsidiaries and crony companies, have interests in everything from jade and ruby mining to real estate and tourism. The military also controls two large banks, but the companies do not release full financial results to the public, shielding themselves from public scrutiny. The UN probe argued the army's business empire allows it to evade accountability and oversight. The 111-page report also detailed how dozens of private companies donated more than $10 million to the military amid operations against the Rohingya. The latter helped finance development projects assisting the military to erase evidence of Rohingya belonging to Myanmar. Sidoti said he found it shocking that so many firms contributed. It's not as though businesses didn't know what was going on. They did, he said. The report demanded criminal investigations into these companies and urged for complete ban on arms sales to Burma. Watchdog Global Witness called the report a rallying cry. Global governments and companies who find themselves connected to a military company can therefore no longer plead ignorance, said campaign leader Mr. Paul Donowitz. A spokesman for Burmese military said he was unable to comment. The report comes after the US announced a travel ban of Burmese army chief last month, the strongest censure yet from a Western power since the Rohingya crisis. The military remains politically powerful in the country despite a transition to democratic rule launched in 2011. It still controls a quarter of parliament and 3 key ministries, including defense.